Hey friends, it's really windy, so I hope it's not too loud, and the cicadas, but you already know about that. Today is an extremely difficult day, and the reason for that is because it is my grandma's birthday, her first one since she passed away on December 6th. It is also my dad's birthday, so I'm trying not to be too bummed out because I'm really happy for him, and he is truly the best dad in the world. I couldn't ask for anything more. He's always been one of my best friends, biggest supporters, and I love him so much. But it's really difficult because every year for my grandma's birthday, I've made her a banana cake, and she's always looked forward to it. And I thought about making a banana cake today, but I don't really have the ingredients, so if I have time, I might do that. And me and my family are thinking about visiting my grandma's grave and potentially taking some flowers out there. But it is really, really hard. I may cry. I've been crying a lot since it's kind of all been coming back to me since I knew it was nearing her birthday. And yesterday at work, I just could not stop crying. And I don't know, my grandma was one of the most important people in my life. She was truly like one of the happiest souls I've ever encountered, and everyone in town knew her, just like everyone in town knows my mom. She would pick me up all the time and take me to get ice cream. She would send food home with me from her house, like all grandmas do. They love doing that. She always called it shopping with grandma. She would always take me swimming during summers with my friends and then take us to Taco Bell because Taco Bell's my favorite. And she was diabetic, but she loved ice cream. So every time I'd come over, we'd get ice cream, and she'd always get herself 2 bowls and tell herself that she was being naughty because she was diabetic and allergic to milk. I miss her more every single day, and I don't know where I would be in life without her. She is a true inspiration. And my grandma had, I think this was her 7th hip surgery. It was the reason why we lost her. She had some complications with it. And after every single surgery she had to learn how to walk again. And she had such a good attitude going through it. She was heartbroken, but nothing stopped her. I mean, she broke her wrist at the same time when she had a broken hip. I mean, both sides. She had 7 surgeries on both sides combined. And that is just remarkable that she was able to get through that. And she was only 63 today. She's 64. And I just can't even imagine what that was like. And, she was by herself. I could only visit her every so often. I used to see her every day before that. But at this point, I was in school and working all the time. So I could only see her occasionally. She would always call me, check in on me, and make sure I was doing well. She loved me so much, and I love her so much, and I wouldn't be who I am without her. So I just wanted to talk about grieving because it's something that's been hitting me and my family really hard, and I don't know that I'll ever be able to fully get over losing her because she was so important to me, and that's totally okay. But it's also important to not let yourself get all caught up in the sadness and remembering all the happy times as well, because I know my grandma wouldn't want me to be super sad. She would want me to be so happy because she was the most religious person I've ever met in my life. She would always talk about wanting to, go on and meet Jesus and see, her parents again. And I'm so happy that, she was able to do that. But it really, really sucks without her here. It really, really sucks. And we had just visited her a couple times in the hospital. It was right around Thanksgiving. And she was losing her memory, so she didn't even remember seeing us. And I came about 5 times to the hospital because she kept moving from the hospital to the nursing home and back and forth because there kept, being complications and everything. But when we actually lost her, it was so unbelievably quick. And I had always known growing up that losing her was going to be the worst thing to ever happen in my life. And I would always write letters to my future self and to her, and I would hide them in my room so that I would know, when she passed, that I would find this letter one day and I would see all those adventures we'd gone on that I'd written out in the past, and it would bring comfort to me. But I ended up giving those to her, I think, or I'm not really sure where they ended up. But I always knew that when that day would come, that I don't know if there's anything that could ever make me sadder than that, unless I lost one of my parents or siblings, which I can't even think about. And when that day came, I went into full-on just shut off mode. We stayed at the hospital until 1:21 a.m. is when we lost her, and it was such a back and forth. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to, bring her back or what, and it was just awful experience. I don't want to talk about it too much in depth because I know my mom watches these, and I don't want to make things harder for her on this day. But that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to experience. And when my mom called me, it was about 11 o'clock at night when she told me that we had to go to the hospital because it was getting bad. And just seeing my mom in such a frantic mode was one of the scariest points in my life, because she was just so unbelievably distraught, and I was trying to keep it together for her because I can't even imagine. It sucks for me just as her grandkid, but being her mom, I couldn't even imagine that. And I just wanted to be able to be there for my mom and my brothers because I knew that it was going to be really hard for them too. So we all headed to the hospital. I had one of my roommates drive me, and I was just on the phone with everyone, telling them where to meet, what hospital she was at, what room, back and forth on the phone the whole drive. And my friend that was driving me was like, "Are you sure you should be doing that?" And I was like, "I have to. Somebody has to, because everyone needs to know what's going on. Everyone, that's important to her needs to be there." And it was really terrifying, and it all happened so fast. It felt like it was really slow in the moment, and then once we got the call at 1:21 a.m., it was just like every piece of me had just shattered and broken. And I didn't sleep at all, and I was supposed to go to work the next day, and I didn't go to work, and they actually ended up firing me partially because I didn't go to work when she died, and then my car got totaled immediately afterwards, so I couldn't come in either, and so they fired me. But anyways, that's not important right now. I fell asleep. I was in and out of consciousness at the hospital, and this was right before we got the call, and I had this very vivid dream. I remember I was just walking around in this dark, empty room, and then she came up to me, told me it was going to be okay, gave me a hug. And then I woke up because the doctor walked in and told us that she was gone. And I kind of knew in that little dream that I had, or whatever you want to call it, that was going to be the case. I knew immediately when the doctor walked in that's what she was going to say. But it didn't make it any easier. So I just want to let you know that today's a hard day. But I also want to make sure I celebrate my dad and let him know how much I love and appreciate him, because it is his birthday as well. And that is equally as important. There are so many things I wish I could tell my grandma. So just make sure you tell those special people in your life everything you want to say, because you never know when you won't get the chance anymore. Sorry I got a little sad. And also sorry, Mom, if you're watching this, because I know this is just going to make you sad. But I love you all. Take care. I know my grandma is watching me and my family, and I hope that she's proud of me. But I will see you all later. Have a wonderful weekend or week, whatever it is for you. And I will see you later. Bye.